So apparently this right here is what the average home in Delaware looks like. We're going to go ahead and build it in The Sims 4. Now, to be honest, I'm not really 100% sure where Delaware even is, but I Googled it and it's on the East Coast. So I think we're going to try to make this into like just one of those East Coast flair type of builds. I think we're going to start off with making this a 7-tile build. Fun fact, I already built this entire thing but forgot to press record. So we're here doing it yet again. We love that. But luckily for me, it should be a little bit more of a speedy build process since I kind of already know what to expect. So thankfully we have that going for us. So we're going to start with about that size right here. And then we are going to put a cute little porch in front of it. Click that down like so. We're going to bring that into B2. And then we're just going to drag this across like so. Click the yellow square, build the ceiling. And that is how you make a covered little patio. We are going to grab this button right here, drag it up a few to give us a deck. And then we have ourselves the bottom floor. This is a very like simple style of build. So what I did was go ahead and grab this top part and copy it. And then we are going to suck this back just a couple because I do want to give us a covered patio right here. And then fun fact, if you want to make a covered patio, a really easy thing to do is just box off a room, grab your sledgehammer, and then you can just click that and just drag it to do all of the deleting for the highlighted areas. And now we have a roof in that section, so we will, of course, have a ceiling. And then one thing I also want to do on the sides of the house is do a 3-tile bump out on each side. There is a little bit of a strange, like, pattern to the roof that you'll see in just a second where it kind of has, like, a half gabled going both sides. But that's kind of the rough shape of what I want the exterior to look like. Then when it comes to our roof, like I said, we have a gabled. I actually said half gabled. I meant gabled. Go ahead and click you, drag you, and go over like so. And then we are just going to copy this roof, flip it on its side using the period button, and then drag it over to be a 3-tile roof, suck you in. And then as you can see, that has a really nice side shape to it. Then I am making this into a back little covered deck. So we'll do that in just a moment. But in the front of the house, we do have another roof, which appears to be a half, what is this called? A half hipped roof. Go across like so. Click this to make sure that it's only 2 tiles wide. And then just use this little arrow to bring it down quite a bit. So that way we'll have plenty of space for us to have windows right above it. Now, I've been using this like base game brick for almost every single build recently, which is crazy. But this is the only one that really has like a true matching brick staircase to it. So if you're a non-CC user and base game user, at least you got that going for you. But we're going to flip this, click, and then drag it over 3 so we can have a nice little deck right here. Bring it up ever so slightly. And then for this porch, I am going to use the matching set that does come with the Strangerville collection. Also, if you are placing fences, you hold down the shift button, you're able to do the fence on all the areas that have walls. So we're going to do that right there. We're going to shift it over on this covered patio as well and have that situation. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves the matching columns as well. Grab you. Boop. Boop, boop, and then boop. And we're going to boop them up the exact same way on our front porch. And then with this, I do also want to make sure that we have the white to match our roof trim. So grab those on all of those angles. And then for our main roof, it does appear to be kind of like this really nice, just simple dark colored roof. So we'll do that for these 2 pieces. And then for the front piece, we're going to go ahead and turn it into a metal roof because it is slightly different, at least based on the reference photo. So that looks pretty nice. Now let's go ahead and try to find a brick that's more or less matching to this so we can fully brick this stuff up. I think I use this one right here from Business and Hobbies. Yeah. It's giving brick. It looks cute enough. So we're just going to go ahead and put this all over our build. Cute, cute, cute. Slay, slay, slay. And then I do want to also put a really nice spandrel in front of this. And we're just going to use this very simple spandrel that I have from the Winter Garden Collection by Pierre Sim. Click you right here. And then it has the same concept. If you hold down the shift button, it will do all the areas that surround that area that you want to have the spandrel that's giving wall. And then we just need to add our windows and doors and all that stuff with our landscaping. First order of business, let's do a nice deck. I just used this simple rustic one right here and did it in this nice dark color. So we'll do that in the front, rotate our shit around and do the exact same over here in the back. Cute, cute, cute. Now to go ahead and start on our windows and doors. Like I said, I do just want to use the Hairy Coastal collection. In the name, it says that it's coastal, and this is on the East Coast, which in my eyes is giving coastal, so I think it'll be perfect. I also know it'll be perfect because, like I said, I already built this before, so it will look really, really cute. So we are going to start off by adding our front door, which this one right here is a nice, simple, almost colonial-ish style, with also looking new and modern. And I did want to do a nice black front door with the white accents. Then I have just these cute little simple windows that we can put on either side of the front door. And then, oh, actually, why is that one placed nicer? There we go. Put that on both sides. And then I am going to pair it with these windows. It's right here, I think. These ones I want to use. Yeah. We'll do this. We'll do this. And then we'll do this. And then I am just going to put these nice shutters in the medium size, sized down in the same black color. We're going to turn this right here, put this one right here, and then we're going to add the other option, size it down just once using the bracket key, size it down just once using the bracket key, and that looks pretty cute. And then although it does have a vent on the top of this roof part, I think it looks better just with a circle, right, like so. And then I do think that it would be nice for us to have windows on both sides of this makeshift fireplace, room. I don't know what it would be, but I do like the idea of having like a larger window right here, right here. And then we're going to do a smaller one above it just to kind of, you know, give balance, but also give cuteness. So we'll do that and that. We will duplicate the exact same thing on the other side. We'll do bam, bam. And then we'll do tiny guy and tiny guy right like so. And then I think that we will do for the back of this house, I just want to put a couple of windows just going across like this. Nothing too crazy. Just give us a nice amount of light in that back area. And then we will finish off the top of this with a window on both sides with a cute French door from the same exact collection right in the center. Is that giving center? Yes, but this isn't giving center. Scooch you over. Oh, hello. Babe. There we go. Put you right there. Cute, cute, cute. We have to go ahead and oogly bop our railing as well. And luckily, this is one of the sets that has its own separate railing. And then now we just need to kind of focus on the landscaping. So what I want to do is have a cluster of these over in this back corner. We're going to put one of you. We're going to size it down, put that next to it. And then we're going to size it down twice to have a little cluster right here. And I'm honestly by no means a great landscaper, but one thing I've always just kind of told myself is that if you just add a bunch of shit next to each other, it will eventually start looking cute. So just don't really overthink it. Just cluster some shit, and if no one likes it, who cares? It is literally just a game. So we're going to put these next to each other to kind of just give us a little bit of ambiance over on that side. And then in the front of the build, I have been really loving hydrangeas recently. So we are going to put some really beautiful hydrangeas from the estate collection in the front of the house. So what I'm going to do is set you down. We're going to use the left bracket key. We're going to click and throw that bitch in a circle. That way it can be a slightly different variation. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We're going to click, size you down, throw that bitch in a circle, and it just kind of just gives a tiny bit more dimension by having them in separate sizes like so. Then we're going to grab this wild grass right here and just go down the side of this. In the reference photo, it does have what appears to be, you know, a little bit of overgrowth, but I'm not really loving that fully. So I'll add my own little spin by doing something like this. And then maybe what we can do is add some nice flowers like so. And then I always like to add something that's kind of like a, I don't know what the proper word would be, but kind of just like a smorgasbord of mess underneath it, just to kind of make it look like it's supposed to be overgrown and just kind of messy. Does that look perfect? No, but do I like it? Absolutely. So we're just going to copy this over to the other side. So let me just throw all my ingredients over here so I have a very easy time just pulling them over. Perfect. And then we are going to do the exact same thing. We're going to grab this little stuff right here, hold down the Shift and the Alt button just to go all the way down the side of the house. Then we'll grab this stuff right here, and we are just going to add our little low-lying flowers kind of in a semi-circle motion. Grab our beautiful little lavender bush, put 3 of these in, and then grab these little pink guys to put right here to kind of finish that off. This house does look like it would have a couple of really pretty trees in it, so let's go ahead and put tree number 1 right here. We'll go ahead and put something maybe along the lines of, oh, I kind of like this tree. Maybe I'll put this in the back corner over here. And fun fact, if you hold down the Alt button, even though we do have property lines, you can pretty much throw it all the way to the corner of the property line and place it on the lot still, which is kind of nice. So we'll put that right there. And one thing that I like to do just to make it look a little bit more lived in is grab some low-lying flowers, kind of place those all around the tree. Then just do something similar with maybe a little bush of some sort. And then we will add, maybe on the side of the house, what we can do is just really simple, and we'll just add these bushes right here. I'm obsessed with these. I think these are one of the best bushes that you can get in this game, clearly. They are just so good at like lining up your foundation. You have to be a little bit careful because sometimes it does clip into the house, so you might have to use the Alt button. But since I'm only doing the interior or the exteriors of this, if you for some reason download this on the gallery, you can just make sure to make those adjustments for me, babe. Also, make sure if you have not already subscribed or hit that follow button, please, please, please make sure to do so. We have made all of the states up to obviously letter D for Delaware. So if you have been enjoying this series, go show it some love on some of the other ones as well so I can truly know that you like it. And I think what I'm going to do is add some of these flowers right here just to kind of give the same overgrown look. We'll just kind of duplicate these and twist it around holding the Alt button. And then we'll do the exact same thing in the back and then obviously on the side as well. Also, I wanted to show a random little fun fact, by the way. I get asked this all the time, how to take off the grid. If you literally just hold the G button, it goes and comes, goes and comes. So that's how you do that. Simple trick, but a very effective trick because it does make a little bit of sense to use it when you're constructing the house. But if you're doing things like landscaping or decorating or whatever it may be, You don't always need it, so why bother having it on there? Add that like so. Ooh. And then I think we'll put maybe this tree right there. I keep on pushing the save button, that damn escape button. Put another one right here. Grab another random low-lying flower of some sort. Maybe you. Do the same thing over here. Just kind of throw it together. And then, let's see. I guess what I can do is kind of just finish this off with a simple little rock pathway. One thing about me, rock city bitch, rock city bitch, always. So let me just line this up. Twist, bam, bam, twist, bam, bam. And then typically I would use something like a stone paver. So we'll just go ahead and do something kind of like this. And then realistically speaking, I feel like the house is pretty good. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could definitely add some more like landscaping and things like that. But this is it. We went ahead and finished the Delaware house. Honestly, as always, I feel like I absolutely devoured this one. So slay for that one. But like I mentioned, if you have not already followed, make sure to go ahead and do so. Hit that subscribe button, comment, go watch all the other ones. But I honestly think this turned out really, really cute. So yeah, Delaware slay, Delaware slay.